Ready? Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody.
How
Welcome
do we
to
switch
Oddvice.
up these intros?
I don't know. We just
hey.
get into it. How should we start these?
Hello.
Maybe we should have an intro song.
Does anyone want to make us a song
Yeah. Does anybody listening want to make us a song?
that we could use for free?
Right? Or no, we'll pay. If it's dope as shit.
Yeah. But licensing and shit, ugh.
But I guess if they make it, there's no licensing, right?
I
they
have no
own
idea
it.
how any of that works.
I'm also kind of guessing myself.
Yeah, we'll pay you.
We'll absolutely pay you. Just send it to oddvicepodcast@gmail.com. We need a fucking intro. I just feel like every podcast is an intro. Anyway, hi guys. Happy Monday. Happy October.
How was your weekend?
How was your weekend? Ours was, we don't know yet because we're pre-recording this, but
Wait.
What? We are going to have a crazy weekend this weekend, so we might have a story time for you soon. What?
Oh my God, this is our 11th episode and it's on the 11th.
Oh shit. Well,
Happy 11.
happy 11, guys. We have an episode today.
Wait. Yeah. Sorry.
What?
I was going to say we should address how we look.
Oh yeah, we are dressed up right now because we're going to something after we record.
A birthday party.
We're going to Dylan Francis's birthday party / album listening or album release celebration, something like that. I don't know. So we kind of dressed up and yeah. But what is this? Sorry. We have an episode today. We'll get into it in a little bit. We want to kind of get in the spooky mood.
Spooky Halloween.
This episode was Alex's idea, and we're just going to read spooky, scary stuff. Before we get into that, I want to discuss a few things. I had a dream last night that I got a kneecap tattoo. That was really weird.
Which you should. And you know what's crazy is you've always said you don't want to touch your legs.
And in the dream after I got it, I looked in the mirror and I was like, fuck. Really? Why did I do it? No, I was so upset.
So maybe that's a sign to actually don't ever.
I wouldn't anyway.
Really?
I haven't even thought once about touching my lower half for tattoos.
So interesting. I want a whole leg sleeve.
I would do my feet if I found something cool enough, but even
the bottom of your foot.
That'd be sick. Oh wait, no, Brie. Was it Brie? I think it might have been Brie. She was saying get your Vax QR code on the bottom of your foot.
That's so funny.
That's so I would damn near do something like that. Yeah, so I want to get that. But I had a dream on my left knee, and back to Brie. Brie was the one who did it. She tattooed it, and it said, I wrote it down. It said "Rare Skull" underneath my kneecap, and there's two different fonts, "Rare Skull." And then my friend Cassie was randomly in my dream. I haven't spoken to her in a minute, and hers said Desi Skull, DESY Skull, which I don't know what that means. In that same dream, Jack Harlow randomly texted me. In that same dream, somebody we grew up with confessed their love to me.
Who?
I told you, I'm not going to say it right now.
Wait, no, you didn't.
Well, I'm not going to say it right now. Okay. And it was one of those dreams where so many weird things happened. And I think it's because I slept with my door all the way open. And it
let in all the energy.
Exactly. Because there's no other explanation for it. Because usually when my dreams are weird, they're weird with honestly some reason. You can kind of tie it back to what's going on in my life. Or
these were so random.
Right. Usually mine dreams are a little deeper where it might be channeling Monica or channeling you. No, this was just a random hodgepodge of things my brains were like,
and it was multiple. Do you always have this many?
Well, it was one dream.
Oh.
It just all this shit happened in one dream. We took shrooms and I felt the shrooms in the dream.
And you were
so
saying
weird.
that someone you know or someone that we know was with Pete Davidson. And they FaceTimed you and you heard Pete in the background talking about you.
Yeah, when you guys answer a FaceTime and you can kind of hear a snippet before that person answers of their call, which can we talk about how weird that is?
Yes,
that your phone picks up that audio before you've actually pressed answer. That's weird. And it was Pete's voice being why the hell isn't she answering? It was and it was quirky ass smoker voice. And I was like, oh my God.
Does he smoke?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm picturing cigarettes.
A few pictures when he was at the Met Gala, he was out smoking cigarettes. So he might be on a cig thing. Cutie. Anyway, his hair in the dream though. So Pete, if you're listening, hello. I have a proposition for you. There's no way he's listening, but if he is, hi. You had, I'm talking to him now. Pete had a buzz cut, no, but not to the skin buzz, probably a half
my favorite
inch,
kind.
a fluffy buzz.
Yeah.
And the color of his hair was like a chestnut brown.
Color bash.
Yeah, or like Emma Chamberlain's hair.
Okay.
Like that, just like really nice honey brown. And it looked so good on him. So I was thinking, if he's listening, you should dye your hair. He's not listening. Anyway, that was my dream.
He won't listen to this, let alone give you the credit for buzzing his hair.
If anybody out there that's listening to this knows Pete Davidson, just let him. I'm getting nervous right now. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next thing. Next thing, I already have 2 Christmas gifts bought.
Yeah.
So I'm ahead of the curve.
And one of them's my mom.
Yep. And then one of them's my sister. Those are the only 2 gifts I already have for Christmas.
Are we exchanging this year?
I don't think we should.
Yeah.
Unless like we want to
Unless
later.
it's like very specific. You know what? Last year, me, you, and Leanna were like, we should exchange. We're going to do like, we have a Christmas tree, blah, blah, blah. It really stressed me out.
Did we give gifts?
No. Remember last minute, we were like, fuck this. We're not doing it.
Oh yeah. No, I don't care. I really don't care to get gifts.
Okay.
At all. I just like, I'll give them, but like.
You know what we should do?
What?
We should each pick out one thing for the house. So we all have something to open.
That's really nice. We should do that.
And we'll have like a gift under the tree.
Or like maybe we don't get like the same shit, because I feel like we all talk about the same shit we want for the house. Maybe we can pick like categories.
Or like rooms.
Right. So we don't like overlap or anything. That's a good idea.
Cool. Cute.
Our house is already decorated for Halloween, you guys.
Yeah. We went and we got decor. Where'd we go?
Home Goods. And we looked like 3 little white bitches running around. We were like, this is so cute.
Should we get this with this?
Like we were looking at a sign that said trick or treat. And like, I feel like we all were like trying to act like we didn't love it. And we were all like, oh, that's cute.
And bubble in my throat. My thing is this really, I feel like now, especially that I'm older, this really brings out a part of me that's in my blood, because my mom is
Decor Queen.
Decor whore.
Love that. You should coin that. That's good. Decor
whore. I don't know if we've talked about it much on here, but she has seasonal decor. She it's not only for holidays but like seasons of the year. So like she has fall decor that she'll whip out in like late August, early September, and then obviously she has decor for Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it's all just like big sign whore.
Yep.
She has signs for everything.
Yeah.
We have some video, maybe we'll put it on Patreon, but we have the whole house. Growing up, the whole house has always been decorations that really get you in the mood for the seasons.
It's like, I know we're all picturing that mom, but it's that on crack, you guys.
Yeah.
It's actually a home goods store.
Yes. That's
in itself.
Yes.
Like she
could probably like have someone walk through and like buy shit.
Yes. And it would still look perfectly decorated.
Yes.
Like, but you know what I will say? As much as she does do, it's incredibly tasteful and it does not look cluttered. And I don't know how it doesn't look cluttered.
Yeah, no, she's always said this. She definitely like has an eye for like a very specific type of home interiors.
Yep.
And it really, like, growing up, I loved it. She knows how to make a home.
Yes.
And like ever since I have moved out and like haven't lived with my parents, each season I find myself missing that.
You crave it.
Yeah. And so I got really nostalgic and like really happy when we decorated this past weekend.
Yeah. No, it felt good too, because like on the contrary, we didn't decorate growing up at all, and I never really cared, because I never really cared for holidays at all. But since living with you and Leanna, especially last Christmas, I think about last Christmas a lot, because that was one of the first Christmas seasons that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Good.
It was.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy to hear.
Me too, because I've always fucking hated Christmas. I hate the holidays. I hate and I use the word hate because I actually despise them. But I think like combination of having control over my holidays is really nice. Having my own money to spend and not being irresponsible with it, or feeling like it's gonna, kill me if I buy anything. Being with friends really helps. I think like doing Vlogmas really helps me too.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm so excited for Vlogmas. Like it's a way to just
fun.
really get in the spirit. Like I feel like social media gets really fun around the holidays. Yeah, I don't know, but I've noticed my decorating bug has really bloomed and flourished with you being in like my adult life, because you make it happen. Like you're like, come on guys, like let's just go get some stuff. And I always think like it's crap. It's a waste of money. Like I'm totally my mom. That's crap. It's a waste of money. It's clutter. We're never going to use it again. But like there's so much cute shit you can get now too.
Totally.
And the power of just even two things in the house.
And it changes your mood. And that makes it worth it.
Yes. And it was thunderstorming the other night in LA, as I'm sure you saw all over LA. I feel like every LA native was like, oh my God, rain, and like put it all over social media. We like turned out the lights and we were watching, I think we were watching The Voice. And we carved jack-o'-lanterns last Sunday with our friend Kaya. You guys know Kaya. Oh, bug. And we had them on our stools and we had like candles lit and there was thunder. Like it is the little things.
Yes.
And I never ever was a consumer of those little holiday things, but like I love them now. And I think it'll be a tradition in my future family.
And to your point, we could definitely save all the decor that we got.
Yes, of course.
And like throw it in a bin in the garage.
Absolutely. You know? No, I agree. So yeah, happy holidays. On a heavier note, can we just talk about Monday real quick?
Social media.
Let's talk about the Facebook, Instagram blackout. I just want to get into this real quick just for a sec, because I just want to like spit some facts. I'm going to preface it as that. I just want to throw out some facts and just kind of get your wheels turning, because I talked about it with my sister. I talked about Alex. We talked about it a little bit on Friday's Patreon episode, this past Friday's Patreon episode. If you don't know, I'm surprised, but there was a Facebook and Instagram outage for about 5 hours starting at 11:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it was silent for about 5 hours. Nobody knew what was going on. We got some word that it was like some compromise in the domain, but like what the fuck does that even mean? And we kind of still don't know exactly what happened, but this is what I want to talk about. I also looked it up. 3.5 billion people worldwide use Facebook. That's insane. And a point I made to Alex just a bit ago was, think about how many people that were signed into things with Facebook.
Yeah.
Their thermostat, their accounts, their TV, everything. And they were out of that for 5 hours. It's just crazy how much it had effect on
not
the
just
world.
The platform.
It wasn't just, oh, I can't go look at my status or like post a picture. No, it's like, it's crazy how much it could shut down, and it scares me how much power this monopoly has on us, and that's America. Anyway, so the day before, this is where I'm just gonna throw some stuff out and let you guys critically think, because we're not here to give you like biased opinions. Yeah. I just want to talk about this. The day before, Francishaugen, Haugen, she was the product manager on Facebook's civil integrity team. She started around the election, and I want to say she left 2019. She went on 60 Minutes and she just aired out some laundry of different reports and things that she knew about Facebook. And I'm just going to read some of these quotes because, again, I could sit here and talk about my opinions on it, but I really want people to just critically think about this. Her first quotes: "The company's leadership keeps vital information from the public, the US government, its shareholders, and the governments around the world. Facebook knows that they are leading young users to anorexia content." She made a lot of points about how they have done studies of their own data and have confirmed the negative effects the things that they push on people are having on those people, and continue to keep doing it.
They're just hiding
to make
the data.
money, just to make money. And it I wrote this point. I said, angry people will stay on the internet to finish their arguments. So they purposely push like more of this content to piss people off, so people stay on it, which leads to more consumption, and they can run more ads and they can make more money. Like, just go.
It's a never ending wheel for them.
Yeah, just go listen to the 60-minute thing and just hear what she has to say. It's just super interesting. It's also very interesting that we released our social media episode on that Monday. We woke up to everything shut down. We were like, first of all, dang it, we can't promote our episode. And two, like how ironic that we talked about
the
this
effects
type of
social
shit.
media.
Yeah, she just goes into her opinion of how it's quite clear that they don't care the effects that it's having on humanity. And what I will close that with is it makes you think. She released all this information. The next day they shut down for X amount of hours.
What were they doing?
What were they doing? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'm sure they'll come out with it, but even if they come out with something, I'm still going to be like, but is that actually what you were doing?
Right. Like, what are the odds?
That's all I'm saying. It just makes you think, like, what are the odds? I know they lost like a lot of money and a lot of value and like their stock and everything, but maybe they figured we'll lose even more if we get caught with the stuff that this whistleblower is claiming.
100%.
Because she might not have the actual evidence in her hands, but she's a pretty credible source for the average thinker. So
right. I wonder if they knew that she was going to be doing that segment with 60 Minutes.
I wonder. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure like there's some way. I'm sure like if you're that high up at Facebook, when you leave, you got eyes on you forever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's so crazy.
That's so
I love thinking about this stuff. All right, before we get into the rest of the episode, let's get into what we're wearing in our song of the day, and then we'll get into it. Like I said, we're dressed up because after this, we're actually going to Dylan Francis's birthday party / listening party for his new album. So I'm wearing an all beige look, and I'm just gonna plug. To be honest, haven't even listened to the album at all. But my song of the day is his whole album. Oh my god, he has something with Marky Basie.
Do that song.
Oh my god, Love Me Better by Dylan Francis, Shift Key, and Marky Basie. Again, haven't listened to it, but I know anything Dylan's gonna be fire.
Okay, and then I'm wearing this Free People lime green sweater, and then I got really fun with my makeup because I never do. And then these are my friend socks. There's 10 seasons of it. Go watch it.
Their sales go up after this. Crazy.
I'm gonna do first. Quick little snippet. I have woken up to
I already know.
Coming Over by Dylan Francis featuring James Hersey. It's Dylan's remix of this original song.
Right.
I changed this to my alarm probably like 6 years ago. Years ago. So when I wake up in the morning, I wake up to like the first few beats of this song.
Yep.
Now I can't listen to it because I feel like I'm waking up.
Like, oh. Yeah. Maybe you should try it like before going out. Maybe it'll like invigorate you.
Yeah.
You should try it.
But that's not my song of the day because I actually can't listen to it ever again unless I'm waking up in the morning. But my song of the day is, hold on. It's the Dylan Francis and G-Eazy song. Say Less.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
that's good shit.
Bop.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Song of the Days. That will be on Spotify. And so did we tell them about the Apple Music thing or do we only tell Patreon?
No, I think we told you guys.
Yeah, so
it'll be up there.
But Spotify is updated. So go check out our Spotify playlist. Oddvice podcast season 2 songs.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I remembered. All right, let's get into everything. But before we get into the episode, we're going to take a quick break for our sponsors. So this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. You guys have heard us talk about them so many times before because we cannot stress enough how important therapy is. So BetterHelp is therapy done securely online. It's available worldwide and you can access it anytime, which is really nice because sometimes I can't wait for Thursdays at 4 and I have something Monday at 2 in my brain and it's debilitating and I need to talk to somebody now. So it's really nice.
Right. What's also great is they're committed to making great matches, but if you feel like you don't connect with your match, you can switch up your therapist for free and it's super easy to change. And you can start communicating within 48 hours.
That's really nice because you don't always mesh with your first therapist.
Right.
And then you feel guilty to change it. And then it takes like weeks to find a new one. I like that they're like, oh, you don't like it? We'll already send you a new one. Try this out.
Right.
And what's great is BetterHelp is actually a lot cheaper than offline therapy. And they offer financial aid, which is so helpful.
Nice. Visit betterhelp.com/Oddvice. That's better HELP, and join over 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional.
Again, that special offer for Oddvice listeners only. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Oddvice. Thanks, BetterHelp. So our next sponsor is the Pill Club, and let's talk birth control. I feel like there's definitely a very awkward,
like weird stigma,
right? When you have to go in and then you gotta explain like why you're having sex and and then like what if you don't like your doctor and they don't make you feel comfortable and you have to like wait in the waiting room and then there's traffic. It's just not fun. So the Pill Club medical team has your back. You can do everything online from home on your own time and your own comfort, and it just makes the whole experience way better.
Right. And when it gets to your door, it's super discreet. There's discreet packaging. You don't get that awkward if your dad gets the mail. And,
hey, honey, what's this? It's like,
what is this package?
It's makeup.
Right. So it's super discreet, which is great.
Yep. The Pill Club also carries over 120 FDA-approved brands. Most brands of birth control are free with insurance or Medicaid. Otherwise, prices start as low as $9 per month without insurance.
Right now, when you go to thepillclub.com/Oddvice, the Pill Club is offering a $10 donation to bedsider.org for every Oddvice listener who becomes a patient. Your donation will help low-income individuals get access to birth control through bedsider.org.
That's thepillclub.com/Oddvice to get your first birth control care package and donate to help more women in need of affordable birth control. Remember, thepillclub.com/Oddvice. You must use the link to make a donation.
Thanks, Pill Club.
So our final sponsor is Athena Club. We've talked about them before. They have a razor kit. They have so many different products to help with your shaving experience. They are so cute and actually such good razors.
Oh my God, it's such a clean shave.
Oh yeah. No, you're in love with them. See, and I only point that to her because I honestly don't shave that much. But when I do, my shit's clean.
It's so smooth.
It's so smooth. Their kits also come with cute little different color razors. I have a blue one.
I have a white one.
And then they also have black and pink. They're so cute. And then when you run out of the little razor heads, they ship them to your doorstep for free. So you never have to worry about
it.
Right.
I was in a rush today because we're going to a party. And I was like, I'm going to shave real quick. Could you imagine if I didn't have a clean head?
Or if you had like a wristy razor, which you don't run into with Athena Club.
Right.
Also, each blade is surrounded with a serum that has hyaluronic acid and shea butter, the holy grail to moisturize skin, you guys.
Show your skin you care with the Athena Club Razor Kit. Sign up today and you'll get 20% off your first order. Just go to athenaclub.com and use promo code Oddvice. That's ATHENACLUB.com with promo code Oddvice for 20% off. Thanks, Athena Club.
All right, so let's get into this episode. Alex came up with this idea just a few hours ago, and she was talking to me about an account called Reddit After Dark. So they post different
Reddit prompts. Yeah, people post on Reddit questions, and then this account repost the craziest answers or responses.
Right.
And I go down the craziest rabbit hole when I'm on this account.
I had never looked at it before, and going through to find the ones I want to read today, I was sucked in.
Yes.
I can imagine this being something that I am sitting in bed till the wee hours of the night. Mm-hmm. There's some scary stuff on here too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to kind of read this. Let's get into the Halloween spirit.
We're just gonna get in spooky zone real quick.
It almost feels like a response episode.
Yeah. You know what?
We're reading entries, but it has nothing to do with advice at all.
Right. But some of the questions I have my own answers to. So okay. It's gonna be kind of
I'll think of answers. Honestly, some of the questions I chose though, I can't even speak on at all.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first for me?
Yeah, I'll go first. This is probably one of my favorite questions to ask in general. Okay, someone asked, what do you guys think happens when we die?
Oh. Do we start with our answers first?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, but first, I think I saw a TikTok. I might have had a conversation with someone on Patreon. I don't know. I don't remember like where or who the conversation was with, but it was kind of a cool way to think about the afterlife. So when you're a baby in the womb, that's all you know is your mom's stomach and the sack that you're in and like the fluid that you're floating in. That's your universe.
Yeah.
And the second you're birthed, that's your new universe. And you don't like when you're birthed, you don't think like you're like, why am I leaving what I'm used to? So this is just another part of this universe. It might be longer.
Right.
It is 100% longer.
Yeah, right.
But this is just another part of our journey. And the afterlife is just something, we're just being birthed again.
I fully believe in that as well. But I then think, how do we know we weren't scared shitless? You know?
No, we probably were, is what I'm saying.
So we're just going to be scared again?
Probably. But
Well,
for a split second.
That makes me scared to hear because I see what you're saying, but I also always like to think about the afterlife as a peaceful transition. So the fact that I might be scared really upsets me.
Oh.
Like I don't want to be scared. Like I hope it's like
Yeah.
an accepting thing. Like when my grandma passed away, the look on her face, like she didn't look scared. So I'm
Right.
hoping like
It was a
it's
peaceful-
peaceful and it's you understand it. It's something, it's a consciousness thing where you're like so accepting of it. Because you
Yeah.
also hear that a lot when people are dying or when people sometimes see the light and they come back. They talk about how it wasn't scary and it
Right.
was this like really calming, non-judgment, like beautiful feeling.
Experience.
So I'm
Well, I
leaning
think-
towards that.
Well, and I think like babies probably aren't like, they're probably scared when they're leaving their sack, right?
Right.
But like the second they're born, they cry and then they're next to mom.
That's why they're scared. Oh my God. That's why they cry.
'Cause
That's why
they're-
babies cry because they're terrified what's happening. No, this is getting really dark. No, I'm like so scared.
No, don't be. I think it's like a beautiful thing. Like it's now they're on mom's chest.
That part's beautiful.
Right. And it's just like 2 seconds where it's just like, something's happening. And then, you know?
I want a doctor to answer this question.
What do
nobody
babies
actually,
think?
nobody fucking knows
Right.
anything. Literally anything. Read some of your responses.
So I got some good. Okay. So this is, if any of you guys have seen The Good Place.
Oh, it's such a good show.
It's such a good show. And it's a show based solely around the afterlife.
Yes.
Watch it. It's really fucking
It's
good.
with Kristen Bell. She's incredible. Please go watch it. You guys.
Right. And it's a comedy show. So it's funny. It's not like
It's
this.
light.
It's not really heavy.
No.
This is a quote from the show. Picture a wave in the ocean. You can see it, measure it. You can see it, measure it, its height, the way the sunlight reflects. And then it crashes on the shore and then it's gone. But the water is still there. The wave was just a different way for the water to be for a little while. That's one conception of death for a Buddhist. The wave returns to the ocean where it came from and where it's supposed to be. And that's from the character in the show, Chidi, The Good Place.
Chidi's character is so good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still the ocean. It's just a different form.
That analogy can be used with like anxiety too. Like look at waves. Like it's just a wave. It's gonna just go right back in.
Yeah.
That's how you can look at like
The
any
waves
mood.
will calm.
Right. Wow, that's great.
Love that. Okay, another response. I like to think it's an afterlife, reliving my life from the beginning, but as the actor and also the director, everything plays out the way it did. But at any point, I would be able to pause and rearrange whatever I wanted. People would say what I wish they'd said and say what I wish I had said. I just want a do-over, you know? I'm an atheist, but if there's an afterlife, that's what I wish for.
That sounds awful.
Really?
Yes.
Have you ever seen the movie About Time?
No.
It's this guy who can time travel, and his biggest lesson.
Is that Rachel McAdams?
No, that's the time traveler's life.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, go on.
This is like kind of the same story, but it's a love story. But one of the cool lessons that he learned to do with his gift was to relive the same day over and just like slightly change some things so that you're not messing up with the path, but you're just like, you're smiling at people more. You're appreciating the little things. And it's just like a cool thought to think that if we could like relive a certain part of our life and like keep things the same, but just like appreciate them more.
Well,
like
we
I feel like that's such a cool opportunity.
Yes, but I wouldn't want that to be the afterlife because one, I already lived it. Like that's like I look at everything as like live it to the fullest, as if you're not gonna get the opportunity again. Like if that does happen after you die, then people won't you won't have a fire under your ass to like live it right now.
Yeah.
I would never want to go back and change even the tiniest things. Like, I wish I wore a different shirt that day. Like, no. Because then I personally just, even the little things like butterfly effect. Like,
I also saw a little piece, I think it might have been through this, but that like when you're about to pass over to the other side, or however you believe it happens, you see your life flash before your eyes,
right?
And it's really slow. It happens really slowly, so maybe that's like in reference to that.
Okay,
like when you see it through, but like it's more intuitive than just watching it,
of course, and you could probably see it from other perspectives and
right,
with a different understanding. That's all good and dandy, but I wouldn't want to change anything. Is more how I look at it.
Yeah,
I'm okay with like re-seeing it and maybe reappreciating it, but I wouldn't I don't
know. I think it's a cool concept.
Yours are really nice. Okay, so to go a little opposite of that whole vibe, darker. One that caught my eye is National Park Workers / Search and Rescue Officers of Reddit. What is the strangest or creepiest thing you've ever seen on the job? Before I get into mine, I do want to kind of give a trigger warning to a lot of the entries I'll be reading today. I talk about ex-cult members. I'm going to talk about death. I'm going to talk about murder, glitch in the Matrix, just a lot of dark stuff. So just warning.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. So my first one is National Park Workers, Search and Rescue Officers of Reddit. What is the strangest or creepiest thing you've seen on the job?
God, shit must go down.
Oh my God. Like, you're already in a questionable part of the earth at a questionable hour.
Right.
Like, it's done. Okay, so this first one. Our volunteer fire department was called out to assist a search for a missing man. When we arrived on scene, we were informed that he was a convict out on work release and hadn't returned to the prison. He told people he'd rather die than go back. They found his car on a backwood road near a gas pipeline trail. He went missing on Wednesday. It was now Saturday. We split into 2-person teams and headed into the woods. We figured we'd wander around for a few hours, not find anything, and then go home. But then someone came and picked the guy up. Or sorry, let me reset that. We split into 2-person teams and headed into the woods. We figured we would wander around for a few hours, not find anything, then go home. Someone came and picked up the guy, and he was just long gone. About 20 minutes in, our captain calls in on the radio. Found him. Subject deceased. We came up over the rise, and the guy was standing there, facing away from us. He looked like he was taking a leak. He had walked about 1/2 mile back in on the gas line and tied a rope to a small tree and hung himself. The tree bent over, so he was standing up.
What?
He asphyxiated instead of breaking his neck. He stood there, dead and staring, for 3 days. Like it perfectly just looked like he was standing.
That's terrifying.
So
terrifying.
I could not erase that from my memory.
No.
I hope that captain on duty like offered free therapy or something. Like,
holy shit.
No, terrifying.
Standing up? Mm-mm. Okay. My next one. People who've had something is very wrong here and I need to leave feeling, but stayed. What happened?
Love that.
I was a dumb 17-year-old. My friend Joe and I smoked weed a lot. One of the guys we brought it from, David, was in his early 30s, lived in a normal house, had a wife who he was in the process of divorcing and not living with, and 1 or 2 young kids. But he sold a lot of stuff besides weed, pills, meth, etc. So he was involved with some sketchy people, but he was also really nice to us. A few times he fronted us weed when we couldn't afford it. One time I had the worst day ever and he just gave me some just to be nice. So needless to say, what happened to him really scared and upset me. One night, sometime between 9 and 10 p.m., Joe and I went over to get some weed. David told us he was waiting on his connection to drop it off. It'd be about an hour if we wanted to wait here. I said, yeah, sure, no big deal. But Joe said, no, I want to leave. I looked at him surprised and said, it's just an hour wait. By the time we drive home and come back, it will be an hour anyway. Joe said, no, I think we should leave. I just don't want to stay here. I asked him why, but he said he just got a bad feeling. I will admit that David did seem off. He seemed really nervous and tense. There was a girl I knew from school there. Like, everyone bought weed from this guy. So she decided to wait, but Joe didn't want to. So I left with Joe. About an hour or two later, we tried calling David. No answer. He never called back, so we just hung out and watched TV till the next morning. He still didn't answer, so we drove by there. We really wanted our weed. And the entire house is covered in crime scene tape. Part of the house is black and obvious. There was an extremely recent fire that significantly damaged the home. We had no clue what happened and weren't about to stop and ask the cops there. I found out from the news and then from friends of ours what happened. Around 12 a.m., 3 guys kicked down the door. David and the girl I knew from school were sitting on the couch. They were both shot in the head and killed instantly. The guys then tried to set the house on fire to destroy any evidence, but a neighbor called the fire department shortly after they left, so the house wasn't badly burned enough to destroy much evidence. It took them years to catch the guys who did it.
Oh, so they were caught. That's good. Fuck.
Oh,
That's not just like, oh, like there's the party got shut down and we just had a weird feeling. That's
no.
fucked.
Joe had a gut feeling.
Is it annoying for me to say that I'm surprised it was like a guy who got the gut feeling? I never hear that it's men that get the gut feeling.
Yeah, they're always like,
that's
oh,
a very general
fine.
statement. I'm not doubting the intuition of men. There's a lot of men in my life with amazing intuition.
Right.
But usually when you hear the stories, it's like the girl.
And yeah, through like personal experience, it's usually just like they're like there to protect you and like you're gonna be fine because you're with a guy.
Right. I didn't
even think about
Joe.
that.
Yeah. That was my first thing. I was like, oh, it's Joe, being like, I don't know.
Oh,
freaky.
This reminds me, one time I was in Oakland at a Halloween party with Bree, and we were up in this. It was right after the Oakland fire, the Oakland warehouse fire. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, yeah.
Devastating fire that happened in Oakland at a warehouse, and it was right after that, and we were at this party that was like. It was in like a weird condo, and there was one set of stairs up, and the whole top floor was just like literally packed to the brim with people. And I was like, Brie, we gotta go. Like the whole thing in my head was, if there was a fire here, we would not be able to get out because the one stairway, literally no windows. Everyone, we were in there like sardines.
This is literally how you're describing On the Rocks.
Yes. Like, and if there was a fire,
every time we're at that bar, I'm like, if there's a fire, we're fucked.
Yeah. But at that party, I was like, Brie, sorry. Like she was like with a guy too. I was like, I'm not comfortable. Like if shit were to go down here, we would not be able to get out. So we left. Yeah. Obviously I don't think anything happened, but it was just like, trust your gut.
Yeah.
I've
learned like trusting my gut. Even if nothing ends up happening, it doesn't take away the credibility of my gut.
Right.
I've never thought of it like that.
Maybe something didn't end up happening because you left.
Right. Like maybe you were the extra 100-something pounds that floor needed.
Yep.
Then break through. Like that's where my mind goes. And I'm like, I need a dip. Always listen to your gut, guys. No party is worth it. Nothing is worth the repercussions. All right. My next one is, what is the craziest conspiracy theory you have ever heard? I think we could have a full episode on this, which I actually would love to do. That could be a good thing for us to do for October.
Yes.
So if you guys want a conspiracy episode, let us know. But this one I actually had never heard. I don't know if you have, but this was a response. It says the Titanic didn't sink. It was the Olympic. Basically, both ships were made at the same time, but the Olympic had a little defect and they decided to just switch the logos and send Olympic as Titanic so they would be able to, so they wouldn't have to pay people to repair it. I kind of believe this to a point because on pictures taken of the Titanic, when people went to go find it, you can see letters M and P on the side where it said Titanic. That was it. I scrolled over and it sounded like I was going to start another sentence, but that was the end of the entry.
I believe it.
Oh yeah. That doesn't seem like...
Sounds like a very...
logical.
Back in the day cover up.
Freaky. A lot of other ones of these are kind of freaky, but honestly, a lot of the responses were like religion based, and I just don't think we should throw conspiracy into religion. I think that's disrespectful.
No, yeah.
So I read it and I was like, okay, guys, don't like mock people. It's
weird.
fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. What Mandela effect fucked you up the most? Recently, the Britney Spears mic thing. She had a mic. She had a mic. She was wearing a mic on her head and in the red Hit Me Baby One More Time music video. And now apparently she doesn't. But this one was really cool. Let me find it. This was kind of, and I've never really looked at it this way, but it's a Mandela effect for their own life. Like it's not something that like happened in their own world.
Oh, okay.
That no longer existed. Let me just read it. My house. There was an attic door in the closet. Everyone in my house remembers it clearly, but it isn't there anymore. I figured that out one day when I checked if the door was moved because we were experiencing some weird stuff happening. So I checked it and it just wasn't there. I immediately told my mom and she was like, no way, and checked. And then the rest of the family did. I even asked friends if they remember it and they do as well and was surprised when it wasn't there. A whole ass door.
No, fuck that.
The weirdest Mandela effect for me happened in my own home.
Now I'm going to be searching for ones in my own life.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to call Monica after this and be like, do you remember anything weird? I never thought of it like that.
I had a chandelier in my old apartment and one day I realized it had like 5 lights and I swear to God it always had 4.
There you go. Weird.
Why?
I feel like I have had those moments maybe and like things, even like, who was it? I think one of our friends, or I remember recently I looked at somebody, I was like, when did you get your nose pierced? And they were like, I've had my nose pierced forever. That could also just be me being an idiot. Right.
Or just like not registering these little details.
But like when I question details so deeply, I'm like,
right.
No, I knew.
Maybe you just like it didn't happen in your universe. I don't know. A fucking door though?
No, it's a portal. It's a portal. Okay, next one. Ex-cult members, what is your story? These were weird. There was a lot of them, but this one was just an interesting type of cult. So I figured I should read this. It says, nobody knew it was a cult until it was too late. It was a perfectly innocent group of interested in paranormal, working as investigators and ghost hunters and teachers of others. There was a TV show we all had to watch. I didn't, but all the others did. I ended up having to watch it later when I was a ghostwriter of fan fiction. I made over $20,000 basically writing gay porn. Anyway, also some people started legally changing their last name to the names of the leaders of the cult who didn't know they were being paid to run a cult. I thought it was weird, but it was mandatory to make it seem like a family business, so I did it. Ironically, 2 cult members set up their own faux cult worshipping an actor and chicken nuggets. When I realized the whole was a cult, I was one of them. And this sentence doesn't make sense, but what they're trying to say is like when they realized it was a cult, they realized they were in the cult. They realized they were, oh my God, I'm in it. And then it continues to say, I don't remember how I figured out the whole system, but once I figured out it was a cult, I fled, and so did most of the others. I fled while we're pretending to work for the cult overseas. I was not working for them overseas. I was hiding there. Eventually, it broke apart from the inside and others fled too, but not before some serious mental damage had been done. Some of us are still in danger. I shouldn't have a legal ID anymore. I had a fake passport I used for a while.
Holy shit.
Now I have a real one and a fake one from 2 different countries. I missed out on years of free healthcare because legally I wasn't allowed to exist because it was dangerous. I still can't do certain things online, which in a way work to my benefit, but most of the time it's inconvenient. I can't have a bank account. I don't want one, but still. The main headhunter is close to death, so we should all be safe soon. Some of us didn't survive to see it, but the cult wasn't to blame for the death. Cults are fucking crazy.
Yeah, and
they're
I feel
all
like
around us.
They're all around us, and I think often, like when you first hear the word cult, you think, oh, I'll never be in one. But it's like
they didn't even know until they were
right.
Like, are we in a cult? Is Oddvice a cult?
Probably.
And we don't even know it.
You know what triggered in my head? Arbonne.
Arbonne is a cult.
Arbonne is a fucking cult. No,
you
hate
didn't hear
to,
it first.
No hate to anyone who works for Arbonne, but it is. It's like it's a very cult-like.
They all use the same filter.
Yes,
they all use the same verbiage. But then you know what? You can also argue that's just a brand story. Like any brand can be argued to be a cult by the colors they like, you know, the consistency of like a pattern.
But it's just like it's the basic premise of you trying to gather more people.
Gotcha.
And like, hey, come work for us. Join now. Don't blink. No,
Arbonne's a cult.
Arbonne's a fucking cult.
Yep.
Okay. My next one. What is your darkest family secret? I actually have two for this one. I had an uncle who moved far away, worked in a boiler room at a huge casino decades ago. He was always sketchy, and he had way more money than a simpler boiler room employee ought to have had. Rumors that the boiler room was a really useful thing for the mob due to boilers doubling as incinerators for certain purposes. Hence the money. Many unanswered questions here. He definitely was part of the mob.
Yeah.
Also, this one. In the film Driving Miss Daisy, when the chauffeur, played by Morgan Freeman, is driving Miss Daisy to worship service, they get stuck in a traffic jam. He gets out to see what the holdup is. When he gets back in, he says, "You won't be going to service today. Somebody done bombed the temple." And that's in reference to the Hebrew Benevolent Congregation Temple in Atlanta in 1958. She says, "What? Who would do such a thing?" "My uncle. That's who."
Fuck.
And then they go on to say he was one of the 5 men arrested, but not the one tried and acquitted twice. I don't know if he ever confessed, but he was definitely the black sheep of the otherwise normal family. My dad, his sisters, and my other uncle rarely mentioned him, at least not while my cousins and I were around. But when I was little, I remembered one of my older cousins saying something about my uncle in a church bombing. I thought better of asking Dad about it and basically forgot about it. Then a few years ago, I was listening to the Missed in History podcast, and they did an episode on the bombing. When they listed the names of the men that were arrested, a giant light bulb went off in my head.
Would you hide something if you knew someone in your family like did something?
Like hide it from other people?
Yeah. Like would you? That's so hard. I don't know the answer either.
I don't know.
'Cause I'm also not a rat.
Right.
But maybe I just wouldn't associate with them. I'd be like,
but something as like devastating and touchy as a church bombing,
right?
Like they deserve. I don't care if you're blood. They deserve to fucking rot in hell.
Yeah, for sure.
And if not hell, then prison.
Right. Ugh. Same thing. Okay, so my next one. What is the creepiest glitch in the Matrix you've experienced? Okay, so there's actually a few of these. They're pretty short, but they're super entertaining. I had this crazy vivid dream in 7th grade. I dreamed that there was a white cargo van parked outside my house. A man got out, walked to my house, broke in, and then went to my brother's room and killed him. I woke up freaked out. It was 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep. I went into the kitchen. I turned the light on, and a few seconds later, the headlights of a white cargo van outside flipped on and sped away.
No.
Yeah. Fucking weird. Next one. Obviously, I don't remember this, but when I was around 2 or 3, my great aunt and grandmother had just returned from Scotland, and the family was invited to watch the projection slideshow at my grandparents'. At my age, I wasn't very interested until there was a picture of a large pond with some ducks. I piped up and I said, "I know that place." Of course, everyone said that's not possible. It's on the other side of the world. I then proceeded to get cranky and say, "I used to live there with my mummy, with my mummy with the white hair." Then something about my horsey and that I lived in a castle up on the hill from the pond.
Oh my God.
Sure enough, the next slide was of the lake with some ruins further up the hill. My auntie apparently freaked out and turned the projector off and wouldn't watch the rest. That's so freaky.
Holy shit. She like, oh, did she say how old she was?
2 or 3. That's like past life shit.
For sure.
Oh where's that really going? Oh, here we go. And then the last one. I only vaguely remember the incident, but one night, very late, both of my grandparents were woken up by a loud sound. My grandmother swore it was a shotgun. My grandpa said it was a car backfiring since there was no one nearby and who would be shooting. We lived pretty far from anyone, but near a highway. They bickered over it a bit and then went back to bed. About 15 minutes later, we hear the phone ring. It was my aunt. Her husband had been shot with a shotgun by a neighbor just 20 minutes before. The thing is, they lived 7 states away. Like, they heard the fucking shotguns.
That's a mother's intuition right there.
And they heard it. They heard what she swore was shotguns.
Oh, okay.
But then Grandpa was like, no, it's backfire. We're of a car. Like, we're next to a freeway, which could also be very true.
It's just...
And even if it was backfire, like, that tells me, like, the sound traveled to that dimension was like...
Yep.
You know? Like, I feel like it
matched.
Yeah. There's something weird there to me.
Oh, fuck. Okay, this is my last one. And the prompt is Redditors. Redditors with creepy neighbors. What did they do? Okay. I had such a creepy neighbor, I couldn't sleep sometimes. A couple years before he moved away, he would start the chainsaw in the middle of the night, and he would saw wood for like 5 minutes, and then he would start the lawnmower, even if he mowed the lawn. And he would start walking around, waking up everyone in the neighborhood. Well, it was all like that until a couple years ago. He started the chainsaw as usual, but then instead of taking the lawnmower out, he took a 15-meter, 49-foot ladder and got on the back of his house, put the ladder up, and then climbed on the roof of the house. But then the unexpected happened. I thought he was going to commit suicide, but he just started staring at all the houses, including mine. After he finished, he took a note and wrote down something, got down from the roof, and just ran into the house like if something was chasing him. In the morning, I saw him packing all of his stuff in multiple cars, but he took one more look at all the houses, wrote on the note again, got in the car, and drove off. A lot of my neighbors think he had mental problems because some of them saw him taking pills, while some other neighbors think he was on drugs.
I need to know what the note said, so don't leave me with the cliffhanger.
Well, just the thought of laying down in your bed and looking over at your neighbor. This is major Disturbia vibes.
Oh, yeah.
But such a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then seeing him standing on his roof in the middle of the night, just staring down at you, just looking, and then writing on a piece of paper.
What do you think he wrote?
He was taking, like, what was he taking notes of? And, I don't know.
Was he writing down maybe like certain addresses to remember? Did he come back later?
I don't think so.
I need a follow up here. This is not enough for me.
Crazy.
Fuck that. And no. Okay. All right, next one. What are the most disturbing Wikipedia pages to read?
Ooh.
So I didn't even ever think of this as a category, but they fucking delivered. There's a few of these. This one's weird. The Radioactive Boy Scout. So we need to search that.
Okay.
I find it deeply disturbing how much damage a bright kid without guidance can do to himself and his surroundings, and how scientific illiterate adults can make disastrous decisions. Disastrous. Yes.
Disastrous.
Dinosaur decision. Just another argument against one size fits all education and for mandatory basic science and for everyone. Excerpts. His homemade neutron source was often incorrectly referred to as a reactor, but it did end up emitting dangerous levels of radiation, likely well over 1,000 times normal background radiation. And his mother, fearful that she would lose her house if the full extent of the radiation were known, had already collected the majority of the radioactive material and thrown it away in the conventional garbage.
I'm sorry, this boy was radioactive?
Yeah. She was throwing the shit in the garbage.
Why aren't more people talking about this?
Right, this is fucking crazy. The thing, but like, I'm not saying this isn't a true story because we genuinely don't know, but
Wikipedia is...
Right, I always think about that. Like, I don't know.
Community driven. Okay,
this next one, a little lighter. What's a creepy Alexa / Google Home story? Let's do this one. This past Thanksgiving, we were at my sister's and she has an Alexa. We were having fun with it, asking it to play old songs and so on. We were pretty impressed. At one point, without saying her name, I said that she was going to take over the world. Alexa stops the music and says, "I'm not trying to take over the world," and then went back to playing music. We all looked at each other and then freaked out a bit. I don't trust the bitch.
She's constantly listening.
100%. That's
a fact.
That's a fact that's proven, but she didn't say, "Alexa, you're going to take over the world." She just said an opinion.
Right.
That's so freaky. This one is creepy, but I also can see the value in this next story. Like, I feel like Alexa could be a good tool.
Okay.
So this is it. Alexa's in the kitchen and I was sleeping on the couch because of heartburn. Me. And just as I'm on the edge of sleep, loud laughter from the kitchen comes on. And then they spelt out laughing, but they spelt it E-H, 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 E-E-H. So just picture. Oh, because that is how she laughs.
Yeah.
Right. And then they said that the last one was a dying wheeze. Who's awake now? This guy. Another time, I was at a friend's house and made some comment along the lines of, "I'd rather kill myself than eat at blank restaurant again." Their Alexa was on the far side of the room and yelled at full volume. "It might not always feel like it, but there are people who can help. Please talk to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at blah, blah, blah." And here I thought she wasn't listening unless I said her name. So I do get that that's creepy, but I also think that was
great.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Like, that could have saved someone's life who actually like said that out loud and meant it. I liked that.
Whoa, that's crazy. I don't have an Alexa. I'm a Google girl.
I'm an Alexa girl. I'm trying to see if there's any more of these. There's a few more, but you guys get the gist. Also, little trick that I kind of learned this past like year of my life. If you tell your Alexa, if you go, "Alexa," and you whisper to her, she'll go, first she'll ask, "Do you want to go into whisper mode?"
Cool.
And you say yes. And then anytime you whisper to her, she'll be like, "Yes, what can I do for you?" Like, she'll whisper back. But that could be helpful in like, there's a murderer in your house because it's quiet. Like, she's a quiet whisper. So if there's a fucking murder in your house,
holy shit,
Alexa, call. I'm not going to say it just in case your guys' Alexas are listening. Call
the number for emergency services.
You guys hold the number, right? If you don't, that's alarming.
You know what I just thought of? The person who like recorded the voice for Alexa, does that mean they recorded everything in whisper tone, doubled up?
No, I thought it was an AI.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought it was just like a generated voice.
Oh, I thought someone records it. I thought it's someone's actual voice.
No way.
I
think isn't maybe like Siri used to be.
Yeah.
But I think everything now is like straight AI.
Whoa. Okay. Learn something new every day.
Okay, that was actually my last one. This was a fun episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel like
we got spoopy.
Yeah, this is a good way to creep into October, if you know what I'm saying. If you guys want us to do more of these, please let us know. This is really entertaining. This is definitely something we would do on the couch regardless.
Right.
Like, just go through
rabbit hole.
Exactly.
There's another account that I found called Am I the Asshole? And it's just like scenarios where you question like, is what I did, does that make me an asshole? And like people go on and ask. We can do that version.
We should do that, and then like we can say yes or no.
Right.
Like, after everyone we read, like we have to choose yes or no, no buts.
Yes.
That'd be a good one. If you guys want that, let us know. Or if you know of any other good accounts or certain Reddit forums, I feel like Reddit could be a really fun
segment that we do.
Segment on this podcast. So happy Halloween. Let's get in the spooky spirit. I think I'm down to do some spooky shit this whole month.
Yeah.
Maybe not every single episode, but like could be fun. We also were thinking of doing a drunk episode soon. So
yeah,
let us know if you want to see that. And then we asked you guys on our Instagram, we asked men specifically, what questions do you have for women about sex, attraction, emotion, just anything. The way our brain works. It doesn't even have to be anything sexual. It could just be opinions on certain things. Just any questions where you just want to get into a woman's mind. We're going to open our mind to you. We're going to answer all of them truthfully. So just email oddvicepodcast@gmail.com. And in the subject, make sure you put the word boys, BOYZ, so that we can just like tailor our inbox.
Find it, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to miss any of you guys. So any guys listening or anybody else listening who knows a guy that would maybe have some good questions, send them our email, send them the end of this podcast. Please send in submissions because we want to do an episode of that soon too. One. That'll be so fun. That's actually an idea that we've had since season 1.
Right.
Like we've wanted to do it. We've considered bringing like guys on here, but I think this could be a cool way to get everybody's input. All right. I guess that's it. We're going to go head off to
birthday party.
Little birthday party. Maybe we'll have a story time. Maybe we won't. We'll see. Well, we love you guys so much. Happy Monday. Happy October. And we'll talk to you next Monday. All right. Peace out. Have a good week. Bye.
Spooky Halloween.